Hi, I'm Michelle,
And I'm Terry.
and we are Widows Helping Widows. And this week we thought we'd talk about the second year of grief and really trying to find yourself again
Yes.
after the loss of your spouse. So, what was the second year of grief like for you?
It was hard, Michelle. When I look back now, the first year I was in a fog and just trying to survive, what my new normal looked like. The second year, the fog is kind of lifted. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is my life. What am I going to do? What's going to be the next step for me and my kids? And who is Terry?
Yes, absolutely.
All of that was going on.
Absolutely.
Because here I went from being a couple, being someone's wife, then being a single, and just being Terry. So I had to rediscover who I am, what I liked, what I didn't like. And matter of fact, this is a funny story. I called my husband's best friend and I told him, what do you remember about me when you first met me? And this is when me and my husband at the time were just dating. I was like, what was I like? And he was like, why are you asking me that? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I don't know who I am anymore. Grief changes you. It can change you for the better part of you or the worst part of you. And I wanted grief to change me for the best part of me to come out. And that's what I had to work on. That's what I had to do. And that's what I'm continuing to do. So that's how the second year started off for me. How about for you, Michelle?
Very similar. Like you, I moved,
Yes.
the second year. And I think the way that helped for me, I wasn't reminded every day constantly of, is he going to walk in that door?
Yeah.
Driving by all the familiar places. But I remember in the second year, like you said, the fog lifts, and I felt the numbness was gone.
Yes.
And you're sitting in a different phase of grief.
Yes, you are.
Where it's like, okay, I've been through all the 1st. They're all done. Thank goodness. And then
Thank
you think,
goodness.
and then you think for some reason everybody thinks that after the first year, it just automatically things get better.
No.
And they change.
Yes.
It's not that they're worse, but it's different.
Different.
And I think the reality sets in of, okay, this is the second anniversary, second birthday, second set of holidays that they're not coming home.
Right.
And so you kind of get pushed into this realization of, okay, I am on my own. I am
Yeah.
unfortunately single. Who am I?
Who am I?
What do I enjoy doing? You kind of start to feel like maybe you might want to get back out there, not to date, but just to enjoy life again,
Right.
really. And like you said, like, who am I? What did I enjoy doing before we met?
Yes.
Or before we got married? And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. That realization really hit me hard.
Yeah. Me too. Me
Really
too.
hard.
Because not only, like you, Michelle, not only was it just me to continue the path of getting better, I had two little people looking at me. So have positive results on them too. So not only I thought about myself, I had to thought about my two kids and how we were going to survive, how we were going to continue to strive forward, and how we were going to make it.
Absolutely. And not just emotionally, but sometimes financially.
That's exactly
You're
right.
trying to think about, okay, long term, what am I going to do? How am I going to support us? There's so many things you go through.
Yes.
Like you said too, with being a mom.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like I said, it's a whole different phase.
Yes.
I remember I didn't work that first year. Thank goodness I was able to not work a whole lot. The second year after I moved up to the Dallas area, I remember thinking, I think I'm ready to work and get back into a new swing of things. And so I started, new place to live, new job, being a single mom and widow, all these titles, all these changes.
Yes.
And it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
It's really overwhelming.
And not only that, Michelle, like I moved from the Washington, D.C. area to Texas, so I had to figure out how to move me and my family across the country.
That's a big move.
Big move. Then I had to find a place to live here in Texas, had to get the kids into school. Thank God my job relocated me here, so I didn't have to really worry about that. But then I had to think about that time I was in sales, so I had to learn Texas and the territories and the cities and the places I had to visit. It's a lot on you. And not only thinking about that, you have to think about all the paperwork that may not have been done or still it's lingering.
Yes.
You know, to get your spouse's name off everything and have your name just on
Changed.
Documents. Yeah.
Yes. I remember these are the second years, the other things started happening, like I traded my car in,
Yes.
it's only under my name.
Yes.
Redid the wills, it's under, did
That's
the wills,
exactly
it's only
right.
under my name. And you start thinking about traveling, and there's all these new aspects you think
Yes.
of that you don't think about the first year until the second year. Things start happening.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's a different set of grief.
It is.
It really is a different set
Mhm.
of grief. That was a hard part. I think it was just figuring out who you are, what your interests are. What were my interests? And like you said, grief changes you. So
It does.
what my interests were before I got married, I'm like, well, that's not really my interests
Right.
necessarily anymore. And
Yeah.
some things were like, oh my gosh, I missed doing this.
That's exactly right.
And it just depends on what you
Mhm.
what you enjoy. But I think it's really important to get back out there. The first year is really hard. The second year, I really did try to get myself back out there.
Me too.
And I think that really helped.
Yeah, yeah.
It helped.
You know, and like to do things that you maybe knew or old things that you enjoyed. Like I love thrifting, so
Oh,
I would
yeah.
go through the thrift store a lot and, hang out with some friends now and then. So I, did things that I enjoyed and some things that were brand new to me, and I pushed myself out there to do things.
Yeah, that's hard.
It is hard.
That's
Meeting
hard.
new people, going new places that you don't know.
Mhm.
And again, Texas was new to me because I moved from the East Coast.
Right.
So everything was new.
Everything's new. Everything's
Yeah.
new for that second year. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I just remember, I think the hardest part for me too is just the second of everything.
Yeah,
I just remember thinking, wow, he's not coming home.
that's right.
Like reality really just
Mhm.
punched me in the face.
Yeah,
And it set in. And that's when you start to go to the next phase of the grief journey where, okay, how am I really gonna look forward, not just like day to day, like how am I gonna survive today? I felt the second year was like, okay, how am I gonna survive the next few years?
that's right.
You start getting a little bigger picture of the rest of your life and
Mhm.
your kids' lives if you have children.
Yeah, and kind of map out how you want it to look.
Mhm.
Even though there's no guarantee it's going to look like that, but you have to try to have some type of game plan to follow.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And it's important too, like for counseling.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes you go through counseling the first year, think we're okay, and then new things start popping up,
Yeah.
like the second year, and you start dealing with a whole different set of grief issues.
That's true.
And in different phases of life, maybe when you just decide you're ready to start dating in the future. We've had people in our group say, I started dating and I realized I needed to go back to a counselor and start
That's
talking
right,
about different
yeah.
things. So even though you're out of the first year of grief, it doesn't mean you're necessarily out of that grief counseling journey.
That's very true. And we call it a journey because grief is a journey.
Mhm.
You never know all the twists and turns and places you might go or may not go, but everybody has their own individual grief journey.
Mhm.
None of the journeys look alike. Michelle's journey is different than my journey, but we all have to go through the grief journey to get to the other side, and hopefully everybody will get to the other side.
Yeah.
And whatever that other side looks like for you, and for you to continue to live and to be happy, because we are among the living.
Mhm. And it's hard to remember that sometimes, but
Yes.
we are. It's important that you learn how to thrive
Exactly.
again. Thrive again.
Mhm.
Well, we'd like to know what your grief journey looks like in your second year. Are you in your second year yet, or have you not gotten there yet? We'd love to know kind of your thoughts on what you're dealing with in the
Yeah.
comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Terry, you want to tell them how they can also find us on different platforms?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can find us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Widows Helping Widows TX. We also have a meetup group. You can find us up on Meetup, and it's Widows Helping Widows. We meet twice a month. Once in person if you're in the Frisco, Texas area, the other one on Zoom. But you can go to Meetup and find all the information there. Did I leave anything out, Michelle?
We also have an email address.
Oh, there we go.
Our email is widowshelpingwidowstx@gmail.com. So if you have any questions or if you have a hard time finding us on Meetup, you can email us and we will be happy to point you in the right direction. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much.
listening to this video, and please subscribe to get more videos like this.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.